Today's lesson is inspired by a scripture from 2 Kings chapter 2, and it reads, Elijah and Elisha were walking and talking on their way from Gilgal. And behold, there appeared a flash of light that took the form of a chariot, which appeared to be on fire. This light separated the two men, and in a flash, Elijah was swept up by a whirlwind into the heavens. Scripture has always fascinated me. When I was a kid, I used to think to myself, this is the way to go. I want to be like Elijah. No sickness, no hospitals, just to step onto a chariot and be chauffeured into the heavens. But who was Elijah, and why this very special demonstration from Spirit? It is recorded that he lived around 800 BC and is said to be a contemporary to Moses. In the stillness of his meditations, his conscious connection expanded and illuminated his spirit. Elijah achieved the very high level of conscious awareness. The people referred to him as the I Am in realization of his infinite power. Elijah knew who he was, the offspring of God. He considered himself a missionary, an ambassador, a worker for God on earth. There was no doubt or fear in Elijah. He lived a life, walked the walk, and talked the talk as the expression of God in physical form. This powerful figure was an avatar long before Jesus was born. Matthew chapter 17 tells the story of Elijah and Moses materializing on the Mount of Transfiguration to talk with Jesus. It was an example of spirit making themselves visible in the physical world. Elijah had been dead for hundreds of years by that time. Elijah's story leaves us with more questions than answers. So let's look at these writings metaphysically. In ancient times, the chariot was the symbol of victory and glory. Fire represents the presence of God. As when Moses encountered God as the burning bush, or when God appeared as a pillar of fire to lead the children of Israel out of the wilderness by night. This chariot of fire was a demonstration of the power of spirit. The horses represent strength, courage, power, and freedom. There are 103 references to horses in the Bible. There have been many great and enlightened souls that have inhabited the earth, but instead of looking for the deeper meaning of the lessons they taught, people choose to deify and worship them. Like many of the master teachers, Elijah's message was the same. We are all of the same source, the same divine parent. He would say, I don't have anything that you don't have. We live and move and have our being in the one consciousness. We are all of the same origin, a divine spark from the eternal flame of life. But we've forgotten who we are. Elijah's life was yet another example of the potential that exists in each one of us. There's a little bit of Elijah in you. We are all born with an indefinable longing to grow beyond ourselves, to penetrate and illuminate the mysterious depths of our own being. The idea and pursuit of truth is literally seeded into our soul. It pervades our very being. The ancient mystics teach us that we must free ourselves from the false identity, the ego, so that our soul may experience and benefit from its oneness with the Great Spirit. God is forever calling us out of the wilderness of doubt and confusion, to understand our true nature and to wake up from the illusion of this physical life, to wake up from the false identity, to see the ego for what it is, a distraction. We incarnate on this plane of existence because it is the school for advanced learning. There is so much to experience. Our life lessons aid us on the path of self-discovery. And as we gain awareness, the question in our mind changes from, why is this happening to me, to what is this experience trying to teach me? There's a divine plan for every soul, and you are exactly where you need to be right now to experience what you need to experience. The reasons are not always obvious, but if you look back at some of the things that you have been through, you will clearly see how a situation or experience changed us and how we grew from it. We cannot fully comprehend the power and intelligence of the guiding light of love. In our current embryonic state, we must learn to trust our inner knowing. The greatest teacher is the voice of your own soul. We should not be looking outside of ourselves for answers, but come to the realization that wisdom comes from within. When you have a decision to make, when you come to the fork in the road of life, take a few minutes to be still and let your higher self guide you. Make it a daily practice to be still, to open your mind and allow the mysteries of life, the wisdom of the spheres, to be imparted to you. Mastering the art of stillness is a giant step in our evolution. We get so lost in the material world with its many distractions, with its noise and haste. Everything and everyone wants your time and your attention. When we lose touch with inner stillness, we lose touch with ourselves. And when we lose touch with ourselves, we lose ourselves in the world. This life is also a wonderful opportunity to resolve karmic issues and make peace with yourself and all those around you, so that your soul can continue its very important mission of unfoldment. The tough lesson for many is to learn to love everyone and forgive everyone. And in doing so, we free our soul to make room for something new in our mind. When we come to know and understand the divine power within us and begin to work with it, to go with the flow of life, the veil of confusion and doubt begins to lift. Mysteries unfold. We gain clarity and awareness of our connection with Source. We begin to walk confidently through this world. This confidence calms the body and the mind from the stresses of life. The Creator lives within its creation as the internal navigator. Each of us are part of the learning. Each of us are on a path of learning designed for our own unique spiritual needs. Whatever is needed for your continued spiritual progression will be what you will experience. Be comforted by the fact that you have within you everything you need to overcome anything life may bring your way. So empower yourself by claiming your birthright as the offspring of the divine principle of the universe. Many believe that the earth is their forever home, that everything begins and ends here. There are those who spend an entire lifetime with no awareness of the metaphysical beyond the physical, no awareness of the universality of oneness, no awareness of the physical and spiritual natural laws of the universe. Without this awareness, we wander through life with blinders on, unable to read the signs on the road of life. Here on Earth School, there is so much to see, to witness, and experience. We bear witness to life unfolding, to consciousness expanding. Our life experiences are designed to chisel away anything that doesn't serve our highest good. And through it all, we learn patience, love, and forgiveness in an accelerated learning environment. Your divine purpose is to achieve total enlightenment and come to know all that God is, you are. All that you are, God is. Don't you know that you are God's? What else would you be? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? God's with a small g, in an embryonic state of existence, the expression of Source in action. Vehicles of change in which the Creator continues the creation, allowing the divine purpose of the universe to unfold through us. Like a bucket of water that has been drawn from the ocean, that bucket of water contains all the elements of the ocean. It's the same with you and God. You have within you the same principles and power as your divine parent. We are powerful spiritual beings, endowed with the authority to take command of our thoughts, our words, and our actions. The only reason for being here on this plane of existence is your spiritual growth and unfoldment. If you are not working on your spiritual growth, You are not making the best use of your time. Time waits for no one. The years go swiftly. We say to Spirit, show me, and I'll trust you. Spirit says, trust me, and I'll show you. Spirit is waiting for us to get off the fence of indecisiveness and realize the importance of our spiritual work, how it empowers the soul and opens a channel to greater truth and awareness. It is not a race, but think of how this world will change when the collective consciousness aligns with their higher selves. Then we will experience a new earth, a nicer earth, a more peaceful earth, a more loving earth. Dare to challenge yourself to be like Elijah, to live your life trusting your inner knowing, trusting in divine order, trusting in the invisible source of creation, and live as the beautiful and powerful spirit that you are. Elijah made a commitment to working with Spirit, so Spirit made a commitment to working with Elijah. Allow the Elijah spark of consciousness to awaken you and live the life you were created to live. You may have heard the expression that nobody gets out of here alive. Well, that's not really true. We all get out of here alive, very much alive and well. Death comes to the body only. Our souls are eternal. And when released from the shackles of the human condition, the spirit is set free. When we have completed the things we came into this world to do, we get to go home. We get to go home. We shed our garments of flesh and release all that is human. Then we will see the sweet chariot of victory and glory, swinging low, coming to take us home to the higher planes of existence, just like Elijah. All is well. Namaste.